Would you like a suggestion on how to help your children break a bad habit? I have an easy, effective 10-step solution for you to try. Bad habits can be tough, whether it's constantly picking on a sibling, constantly picking a nose, or chewing fingernails, or even bad language. Bad habits are something that definitely you've noticed your kids probably have. And you know what? Adults have them too. So here is a 10-step process that can help them to overcome their bad habits. And they can also use this to overcome their bad habits in the future. So first, before we begin, we're going to say a couple words of caution. One, make sure that your kids know that you love them. Make sure that they feel loved. This is not a punishment system. This is not something where you're saying you're terrible. This is you loving on your child. Number two, no anger, no yelling. Make sure you are calm about this and loving in this. And number three, make sure that they know that you are doing this to help them, because ultimately they are the ones, with God's help, who can stop their bad habits, and you want to help them be successful in that. Are you ready for the system? Okay, the 10 steps for the system. Number one, talk with your child and talk with them about the bad habit that you are going to target. Now, I'm sure you have many bad habits. I could sit here and list a couple that I would like to target on different people, but choose one. Choose one. Pick biting their fingernails, for example, but only one. You're not going to say anything about the other bad habits during the day. So that's the habit, and explain to the child that you are there to help them, that you know that it is a bad habit, and if they don't recognize it as a bad habit, explain to them why it would be a bad habit, how it's going to impact them negatively in the future. For example, the chewing the nails. It will make people look at them a little oddly. It could get them sick from picking up germs at the grocery store and putting them right in their mouth. And it doesn't look as nice with fingernails, whatever you'd like to say, but communicate to them why it is bad. The next step would be ask them if they want help and pray about it. You can bring in scripture memory here if you want to. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. That would be a simple one to memorize, but maybe you have another idea. Fourth is to explain the process. So very simply, and I'll explain it as we go, the process is this. Every morning, they are presented with tickets, 5 tickets. I called it my ticket system. And when you notice them doing the bad habit, in this case, we've chosen biting their nails, you don't say anything. You don't harass them or say, please stop, or anything that you might want to say. You literally just take away a ticket and put it in a drawer. Very simply, no fanfare on that. Then the child will realize it, and if they do it again, you simply take another ticket away. This continues through the day. You just don't say anything, but have the ticket somewhere where you can see. And then at the end of the day, there is a celebration if they have at least one ticket remaining. And if all the tickets are gone, well, then there is a privilege taken away. And we can talk about that in a sec. Okay, so step number 5 is construction paper. Pick your child's favorite color and make strips. So I have 3 children, and at one point I was working on a bad habit with each of the 3. So we had purple strips and blue strips and green strips all going at the same time. So pick their favorite color, just simply cut 5 strips of paper and lay them in somewhere where they can be seen, because that's step 6. Every morning you put out the tickets. If they have lost them all the day before, that's okay. Just put out all 5 again. Keep them somewhere where you can grab them again. Step 7, as I mentioned, when the bad habit appears, just take it away and remove a ticket. If it happens again, just simply remove a ticket and continue like that. Step 8, if they finish the day with even 1 ticket left, maybe 2 tickets, 3 tickets, hopefully, celebrate. And that's a big deal. Don't focus on the fact that they lost a couple tickets. No, celebrate it. High five them, give them a big hug, give them an extra portion of dessert, do something to congratulate them, because it's something that they chose to do and they're trying to change their habit, and we want to positively reinforce that. Step 8, or I guess that's step 9, I'm sorry. If they finish the day with no tickets remaining, that's okay. You will want to empathize with them because they'll be upset. Say, it's not something that you are punishing them for, again, but you are helping them. So empathize with them and let them know that tomorrow morning is another chance. You're going to get 5 tickets again, and you know that they can do this. Reassure them, and then be firm. Whatever you decided to at the beginning of the day, whether it was not having dessert or removing a bit of computer time or going to bed early, stick with it. And again, make sure that they know that they're loved, but stick with the boundary that you both set together in the beginning of the day. 10, remind them that tomorrow morning it starts fresh, new every morning, 5 tickets every morning. They have a brand new start for this, and you are proud of them for wanting to work on their bad habits. So if you have multiple children, as I mentioned, you can definitely do this with multiple children, but be careful because it gets tricky. You need to be focused on a bad habit. And if you are missing bad habits right and left, it may become a game with the kids, and you don't want that. You don't want them to be like, oh, mom didn't see that. So choose your battles. Like I said, I did it with 3 and it worked okay with my 3, choosing just one habit for each of them. It may get tough because they may be frustrated with you or frustrated with yourself, but stick with it because it does work. I promise. It really does. I would say come up with something for a celebration. I think this traditional thing is if you stick with something for 21 days to change a habit, then a new habit will be formed, and that's what you're aiming for. So maybe you put a chart up on the refrigerator with 21 blocks, and every day that they, every consecutive day, if they break it, you got to start over. But every consecutive day, allow them to place a sticker in a block, or color in a block, or put a happy face or something in the block. 21 days. I usually ended up doing a full month, so like 30 or 31 days, and we did this several times. So make it a celebration. Say, oh, we'll all go for ice cream at Nutter's. That's one of my favorite places after you complete this chart. So make it a proud of you, positive kind of thing. May I tell you a cautionary tale? Just in case you do this. I told this to my younger sister who had younger kids, and I said, oh, you've got to try this because it really works well. So I explained the process to her, and then she called me a couple days later to tell me what had happened. So see if you can spot the breakdown in the system in this tale. So she had 3 kids that she was using this with the that she had habits that she wanted to break, and so she gave them each their 5 tickets in their 3 different colors and laid them out. And every time they did something bad, she'd take away a ticket, or something that she didn't like, or they didn't obey her, she'd take away a ticket. And this continued throughout the day, and her boys were getting madder and madder. And finally they got together, and I think there was one who was a ringleader, and they decided to make tickets for mama. And they literally chose, I think they were pink tickets, and they cut 5, tickets for their mom, and every time my sister did something that they didn't like, they took away a ticket. It got worse and worse. Anyway, she told me this, and I'm like, oh goodness. So again, make sure you pick one bad habit that you're working on. Make sure you do it out of complete love and encouragement. Make sure they understand that you're helping them to break a bad habit, that it's not just a punishment for any wrong deed. How about you? Do you have any bad habits in your house? What do you all struggle with? Do you have any verses that help with when you're dealing with the bad habits? Do you have any other effective ways to do that? This is one way. It is my hope in sharing this story that this will help your family, and perhaps it's something that you can try to help your kids overcome a bad habit, but also to get to know them better and to connect with them more. So I'm CCHappyMom. If you haven't already, please subscribe below. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to talking with you next time.
Would it help you to talk one-on-one through your specific situation? I'd love to help. Go to CCHappyMom.com to reserve a one-on-one Zoom call. Have a nice week, and I look forward to seeing you next time, right here, with a little help.